Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectMeWithTiffany. Welcome to the podcast and posse, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. I'm your host, Tiffany, and we're going to start with story time today. I know that so many of you listening are in this spot where you really don't know what your true purpose is. Like, why in the hell am I here on this earth? Yes, I might be a mom. Yes, I might be a good sister. Yes, I might be a good wife or husband or father, friend, but really, what's my purpose? What's my purposeful vocation? Because it's certainly not what I'm doing. Maybe you thought it was to be a doctor or healthcare professional. Maybe you thought it was to be an accountant. Maybe you thought it was to be in fitness, and it's not lighting you up and it's not fulfilling you. So that's not your purpose. Maybe you thought it was, but it's not. You just did what you were good at. And there's a lot of shame that can come up, and depression, anxiety, feelings of confusion, despair, shame. If I said shame, I'm going to say it again. Shame, 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 because it brings up so much shame, because we think we're supposed to know. And if we don't know and we keep searching for it and can't find it, we start going like, God, what's wrong with me? Like, do I not have a bigger purpose? Like, am I just like a basic person? And the people who have a bigger purpose and are calling are like chosen ones, and it's not me. The reason I know how that feels is that was me. In my 20s, I was an avid member of Gold's Gym and always doing fitness classes. Freaking still love fitness classes. And we would stand in line to get into these popular classes. And it was, definitely like a meat market situation in there. But I'd get asked by women too, but there'd be, you get to know these people. So the small talk was kind of over. And then it went on to I call them the layer 2 questions. They've stopped asking what you do for a living, how long you've been a member at the gym, crap like that. And then it goes to, what are you passionate about? What are your passions? What do you love doing? What do you do for fun? And I would get a feeling of shame that literally went through my entire body when I would get asked that. That was like the dreaded question for me to get asked, is like, what do you do for fun? What are you passionate about? What are your hobbies? I really didn't know. I didn't have any. But I knew it was kind of like not socially acceptable or appropriate to say, I really don't know. I mean, I really didn't feel I could answer that way. So I came up with, canned responses to answer questions like that, just so I wouldn't feel awkward or weird, or I had so much shame around it. I don't even remember what I said back then, because I said all sorts of shit. And when you're full of shit and you're lying, unless you're like a sociopath, you don't remember your lies. And it was dishonest, but these were, strangers. Some of them were like, I call gym friends. They're people I actually knew. And even I did it with people I was dating. I truly didn't know. I would go buy books at Barnes and Noble that was like, I think there's like purpose-driven life, like anything about like finding your purpose, your passion, what you're meant to do here. I was seeking a lot of that information. I probably typed that shit into Google. And I didn't know. I really didn't know. So I want you guys to hear that part of my story in case you're there. Now, I thought that, well, I guess my passion is and my purpose is to help other businesses succeed, because I'm great at sales and building rapport, and I'm really great at public speaking. So, that must be what it is, right? But those were just things that I was really good at, or that I got good at. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you A, have to do it for a living, B, have to do it for even free or a favor, and C, that doesn't mean at all, that's not the definition of your purpose or calling. Your purpose, your calling, your passion is how you feel, I'd call it from the neck down, how you feel in your body. Does it feel fulfilling? Does it light you up? Does it get you excited? Does it bring a tear to your eye? Does it just make you feel like taller? I'm thinking right now, because I'm doing my passion right now, right? It's to empower and educate and help guide all of you into making money, doing something you love and you're passionate about, and to build that in a way that has ease and flow and joy in it, not the hard way like I did with my first company, because we are not available for hard here in the posse. Okay. So I really want you guys to drop in and feel that whatever it is, your current vocation, you might have spent $100,000, $200,000 on an education, or maybe your parents did on you, and you're doing something that it doesn't light you up. You dread it. I want you to pay attention to how you feel, because that's where you can tell what is your actual true purpose. But I also have an exercise for you guys, because I know that that's not enough. Because if someone had told me that back then, I would go, well, God, no, none of these things that I'm doing right now feel fulfilling or light me up or feel excited and confident and joyful or bring tears to my eyes. So what is? And one thing I need to say is this. Well, I'm going to say more than one thing. Hello, it's me. But one important thing I want to say. The shit that you've gone through in your life, whether it was in childhood, whether it was in early adulthood, whether it was last year, we've all had shit that has gone down in our life. Heavy shit. Death, divorce, abuse, trauma, bankruptcy, severe debt, addiction. Whatever you've gone through like that, your purpose is somewhere in there. And I'm not saying you have to make your pain your purpose or something like that. But you didn't go through that crap for no reason. You went through that stuff for a reason. And a very highly likely reason is for you to pay it forward and to reach your hand back and grab the hand of a sister, of a brother, of someone else who's where you used to be, and help guide them to where you are now. See, that gets me choked up. That's where the magic is. Those of you who are longtime listeners know my story. I was sexually abused from ages 11 to 21 years old. I was also raped by someone I knew at 15 and left on a floor in a party by myself. And I didn't tell anyone until I was 19. I kept all of that in. There's a lot more to my story that'll be in a book someday. But I did not go through all of that just because because there's the devil in life and I just went through it. I not only went through all that, but I came out the other side by doing a shit ton of healing work, okay? but I came out the other side. I am alive today because my purpose is to help guide all of you. Now, my expertise, as you know, is not in helping people who have PTSD or have gone through sexual trauma. You don't see that in any of my stuff, right? So that's why I'm saying your pain, don't take it so literally. Your pain doesn't have to be your purpose, right? That's why I help build safe houses for sex trafficked girls, and I donate my time and spending time with them and helping them build their self-worth. Okay, that's for free. But that really lights me up. But you don't have to make money doing this, your purpose, but it needs to be somewhere in your life because it just elevates every other part of your life. So let's say you went through a grueling divorce or you went through a horrible health crisis. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to make a business and a brand out of that. You could, be someone who helps volunteer at a nonprofit, or you help serve people for free. But you come to me and you listen to me, one, to get empowered, inspired, but also because I teach you how to make money doing something that you love, because you should make great money at your purpose because you are designed to be an abundant being. And you should be highly rewarded and compensated for those gifts. A lot of people, especially those of you who are my healers, my wellpreneurs, my soulpreneurs, my empaths, my intuitives, you guys feel guilty. There's a guilt factor there, like, God, I shouldn't be charging. If I really care about healing people and helping people, I shouldn't be charging for it. Why not? Why? But the people who have helped me the most in my fucking life, aside from people in my inner circle, and the most profound transitions I've had, I've paid all of them. You pay a therapist, you pay doctors, I pay coaches. Yes, I want to pay. Absolutely. You should pay. This is an abundant life. So you need to let that part go. When I pay and when people pay, it helps them show up for themselves. If I didn't pay to this day thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to 3 different coaches that I currently have, I would end up blowing off appointments and not telling them, but I would end up rescheduling. I would end up not doing any, homework they gave me. But the fact that there's the money factor there and there's skin in the game there, it gets people to show up for themselves. That's also why I hire people. It creates a sense of accountability. And also, you know what? The people who give so much to me, I want to pay them. People want to pay you for you helping them heal and helping them grow, whether it's stuff like I do, where, I'm helping you create businesses, grow your businesses, convert strangers online into paying clients, help you create multiple streams of passive income so you're not always trading your time for money, and you can have that freedom of time and space and pressure like I've created for myself, which is such an amazing feeling. I don't have to be doing this podcast. I'm doing it because I want to. This is free because it can be free because of all of my revenue streams. But people want to pay me for that knowledge. It feels good to have an exchange. Have you ever had one of those friends? It could even be an acquaintance or a coworker who always gives you a gift or, bakes fresh cookies or brings things in. And then they don't want anything in return. You say thank you, but then if you bring them something, they don't like gifts, or no, I can't accept that from you. It feels like shit. People want to give. That's why, for example, for writing a 5-star podcast iTunes review for this show, that's why I treat you guys to, a coffee drink of your choice or a smoothie of your choice. It's not because you guys wouldn't do it anyway, right? Number one, it does incentivize you to do it, because why wouldn't you want to have a free specialty drink of your choice? That's crazy. So it does incentivize you. 2, it's me wanting to show you my gratitude. It's an exchange. You just showed your appreciation and gratitude for the show and took 2 minutes to do something that really helps the show and helps grow the show and nurture it along. And I want to thank you back. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want to put that out there for those of you who have that weird feeling around it. I mean, I would not go even get like a deep tissue massage from someone and they're like, oh, it's just $40. Like, I don't really, need to charge more. That's okay. That doesn't feel good to me. You just made me feel that good. And you're that talented at it. When someone's undercharging, I feel like I'm stealing from them. It does not feel good to me. Now, if someone's overcharging me, that doesn't feel good either. But undercharging actually makes other people feel uncomfortable, suspicious, guilty, awkward. Just think about that. So let's get into this purpose finding exercise. Okay. You're going to do this obviously on paper. I want you to take one sheet of paper and there's 3 columns. Okay. And you should use an absolute, pick the, I'm so excited to tell you guys this. Hold on. So something recently I've been doing, which is so fun and it's really cool and it's a vibe elevator and I know you all have packs of colored markers, whether they're Sharpies, Flair pens, gel pens, because, we're office supply obsessed here. So I want you to have all your colors next to you when you do this, or any of my exercises really. And I want you to just pick which color stands out to you. What are you vibing? It might not be your favorite color. Like for me, I'm doing it literally right now while I'm talking to you. I really do have amazing multitasking skills. It's next level. I'm really drawn to this bright lime green Sharpie. There's a purple Sharpie next to it, right? And you all know I'm all about the purple life, but I'm drawn to this lime green one. So use what you're drawn to. There's a reason you're drawn to that color. Colors actually have psychology behind them. So you can always Google the psychology of any specific color. It's fascinating. But I'm now doing this on all of my client calls and before my live training classes for my ProjectME Posse group coaching membership. By the way, we're 75% full now. So if you want to get in on that, make sure you go to projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectME Posse. projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectME Posse. It's $150 for the first month and $100 a month after that. And you can cancel at any time on your own because I don't want anyone in there who's not excited to be there. And this is where I coach you live every single week. I bring in special guest experts. You have access to 60 plus hours of past training classes. You can ask me all your business and marketing questions and collaborate, which I highly encourage with the other people inside the group, get on each other's podcasts when we're allowed to do speaking events. You guys can speak at each other's events. There's a lot of cool stuff that goes on inside that group. So once we're full, we're full. So make sure you go and sign up, get in there. And you can go and see what the other Posse members are saying. I put testimonials on that page. So it's projectmewithtiffany.com/ProjectME Posse. Anyway, even before I do a training for that, I will do the same thing with the markers. So try that before you do writing exercises, journaling, working with a client. It's really cool to see what you're vibing. And I truly believe that more will come out on the paper of what's supposed to come out when you do this. I've been practicing it for a week now, and it's really freaking cool. All right. So you have 3 columns. I'm doing this literally with you. So the first column, you are going to, so to speak, brain dump. And this might take you guys a week, 2 weeks to do this exercise because I want you to continue to add to this list, even if it's 6 months from now. Okay. Who are you the go-to person for among your friends, family, and coworkers? So are you the go-to person for relationship advice? Are you the go-to person for baking? Are you the go-to person for supplements, for fitness? Are you the go-to person when people are stressed and overwhelmed? Are you the go-to person when someone's like, oh my, they need help with their resume or what to say to their boss, whatever it is? Who are you the go-to person for? It could be for freaking nails, okay? It could be for all the, where's the best hiking trail? Nothing is too small. So do this without self-judgment. Don't start going down this path of, my overthinkers out there, I see and hear all of you. I hear your brains right now. Don't go down the path of, oh, well, people do ask me a lot about, cooking elaborate, meals or something like that, but no one's going to pay me to do that. And I don't think I want to make a business out of that. Leave that out. Just brain dump the whole damn thing in the column. Okay. Column 2 is, if money were of no concern, what would you love doing consistently for free? Now, you can be sarcastic here. That's not going to serve you, and be like, I want to string together seashells on the beach in Bali. Let me tell you something. All that sounds great to me too. I mean, honestly, I would probably open a really cool coffee shop if money were of no object. Like I just was like, I shit money. That'd be interesting. Celery juice and shitting money. That's the first thing I just thought of. Okay. So I'd probably open up like a little coffee shop, and wouldn't even care if it made money. Okay. Like, I don't want you to go down a path of, I would do absolutely nothing all day. That would get old after a while. Even me having a coffee shop that's technically a business, that would get old after a while. It's because it didn't fulfill me. So I just want you to write down in that second column, if money were of no concern, what would you love doing consistently for free? And you can look at what you do consistently now for free, but you have to love doing it. Is it giving relationship advice? Is it teaching people about something? Is it drawing? Is it painting? Is it gardening? What is it? Is it cooking? Put all those down. Then the third column is, what do you love teaching and advising others about? And the key word here is love, because I know a lot of you give a lot of people advice, guidance, and counsel, and you're left like drained as fuck afterwards. Especially my empaths, right? You're left drained and it's like, oh my God. And then you see that person calling again, even though they're your friend or your family member and you love them, but you're like, I don't have it in me. That's not love. You don't love doing that. So what do you love teaching and advising others about? Whether it's a stranger in line getting a coffee, it's a gym friend, it's someone you met at a networking event, whatever. What is it? I truly, because of course I've done this exercise. I don't give you anything that I've not done myself. In that column for me, for sure, any sort of like business, branding, marketing, sales, I genuinely freaking love teaching and advising others about it. Now, I don't let people pick my damn brain anymore. If you want to pick my brain, it's $8 a minute. And no, I'm not joking. So you can pick my brain. It's $8 a minute. You can book a 90-minute session or apply for my private coaching. So what is it that you love teaching and advising others about? Now, what you're going to do, again, please don't try to do this all in one night. I know some of you are going to anyway, because that's some shit I would have done. I would rather you keep adding to this list over the course of a week. And then I want you to start circling what are the commonalities, what shows up in all three columns. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's just use an example. I don't know. Let's just use baking as an example. Baking and relationship advice. So 2 examples. And that's showing up in all 3 columns. Okay. I want you to circle anything that comes up in all 3 columns. You might only have one thing. You might have 2 things. So once you see what those things are, there is a purpose in this. And it's a purpose that you likely can make profits off from. So, like I said, I am here to help you make money off doing something you love, right? Not everything you're supposed to be here on earth for needs to have a monetary exchange. That's what fucking volunteer work is called, right? Being of service is called. So let's say you see like relationship advice coming across all three columns, right? Now I want you to think of, okay, what can I do with giving relationship advice that is needed in the world? Like, how can I offer those services to the world? Maybe it's being a relationship coach. I mean, you have to niche down from that, but maybe it's a relationship coach for, women over 40. Maybe it's a relationship coach for millennials. But I want you to take a look at these things and see what are ways that I can share these services, offer these services to other people. And then you're going to start brainstorming there. I'm not going to go further than this in this episode because that's enough already. But this is the exact exercise that I did in order to really get validated. Because sometimes you might know or think you know what your purpose is, but you wouldn't mind some confirmation and validation. At a certain point, I realized, and it was probably around 4 years ago, I did have the epiphany. I had the divine download, even though I had the idea and the concept for ProjectME 10 years ago, which is crazy to me. I mean, even the logo and everything. I would say it was like maybe 4 years ago where I had the divine download of, I get it now. I get why I went through the dark night of the soul. I get why all this happened to me and all of this healing work I had to do to get on the other side. I get why I had to figure out how to freaking sell in a way that felt good and natural and easy and with integrity. And I almost got fired several times because my sales numbers were low. And I had to figure it out. All the binds I was in and had to figure my way out. Like, I get it now. I'm meant to teach other women how to do this. Now I get why my whole process of creating multiple revenue streams to create that like financial empowerment and freedom of time and luxury, that wasn't just didn't happen to come up. I mean, no one taught it to me. I created it myself. And that happened so I could pay it forward and teach all of you, which brings me so much joy and gets me so fired up and happy and fulfilled. So that's what I want for you guys. I want that for you guys. All the stuff you've been through, the good stuff, the bad stuff, schooling, hard, jobs you've taken, careers that have seemed shitty, that has all been mapped out by the divine. You were supposed to go through all that. It is not too late. It is never too late to follow your divine purpose. In fact, you're just on fucking time. If it was supposed to happen 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, then it would have. It's supposed to happen right now, and you don't have to know why. ProjectME with Tiffany Carter was supposed to have been born almost 2 years ago, even though I had the idea 10 years ago, and I had the money to start it. But it wasn't supposed to happen any sooner than that. You know why? Because I needed to go through more shit and more healing work in order to show up as my best self for all of you. If you loved this episode, I really want you guys to take a screenshot and share it, because there's someone in your audience, in your family, in your life that might not even be telling you this, but is sitting in shame and anguish around not knowing what their purpose is, or they're in confusion because they're not sure what it is. And this episode hopefully gave you clarity and will help give them clarity as well. As always, you guys, wishing you great health, wealth, and worth. Love you so much. Bye. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.